Hello everyone, my name's FlareBlitzed and welcome back to Doki Doki Literature Club Plus. Happy July everyone, but also as well, this is where the dark and horror subjects enter the Doki Doki Literature Club realm. So just brace yourself, and if you've already played this game in the past, then you know what's about to happen throughout this episode. I decide to visit Sayori before Natsuki comes over. Rather than asking, I simply tell her I'm coming over, much like we've done in the past. Once I reach Sayori's house, I knock on the door before entering it myself. Again, we used to play so often that we made it a bit of a habit of simply entering each other's houses like we were family. Because we are family in a way, Sayori isn't anywhere on the first floor, so I assume she's up in her room. It's really strange for her to not run down and greet me. That is very strange. Like somehow her thought process have been manipulated. Or, unfortunately, something else has gotten into her. I head up to her bedroom where I finally find her. Sayori! Hi, Flare! I sit down in her room. Sayori forces a smile, but you tell that she's different. There's a minute of silence between us. You haven't come over like this in a long time, have you? Ah, I guess you're right. It has been a long time. Not much has really changed, has it? Sayori's room is as messy as it's always been. I also recognize the same stuffed animals and wall decorations that she's had for years now. If you came over more often, it wouldn't be such a mess. Maybe you should figure out this mess yourself since it's your mess. That's because I end up cleaning it for you. How come you suddenly wants to come over today? Aren't you supposed to see Natsuki today? Yeah, but... Wait, how'd you know that? Sayori had already left by the time we decided at last meeting. Monica told me. It's only natural for her to keep me informed about the festival preparations, right? Ah, that's true. But what about you? Aren't you going to be helping Monica today? Of course, but I'm just helping her online. We didn't plan to meet up or anything. Ah, so it's just me and Natsuki then. Yep. There's more silence between us. Sayori stares in a random direction. Everything about her behaviour is really uncharacteristic, very un-Sayori-like. I finally get to the point. I just wanted to see how you were doing, after you left on Friday. When something's wrong with you, you can't hide it from me. I know you too well. So? Sayori smiles, shaking her head. That's no good, Flare. Eh? Why can't I just be like it's always been? This is all my fault. If I didn't get so weak and accidentally express my feelings, if I didn't make that stupid mistake, then you wouldn't have been worried about me at all. You wouldn't have to come over. You wouldn't have even be thinking about me right now. But this is just my punishment, isn't it? What are you talking about? I'm getting punished for being so selfish. How are you selfish? I think that's why the world decided to have you come over today. He just wants to torture me. Sayori! I grab Sayori by the shoulders. What on earth are you saying? Are you listening to yourself right now? I know something happened to you. There's no other explanation for you to be like this. So tell me, already. Until I know, I won't be able to stop thinking about it. Ah, Sayori gives me an empty smile. Like, there's nothing wrong. You really put me in a trap, Flare. But, you're wrong. Nothing happened to me. I've always been like this. You're just seeing it for the first time. Seen what? What are you talking about, Sayori? You're really just going to make me say it, aren't you, Flare? I guess I have no choice this time. The thing is, I've had really bad depression my whole life. Did you know that? Why do you think I'm late to school every day? Because most days I can't even find a reason to get out of bed. What reason is there to do anything when I fully know how... I'm not saying those words. Why go to school? Why eat? Why make friends? Why make other people put their energy and care into waste by having them spend it on me? Because you're worth it, Sayori. In other people's eyes, you're worth it. That's what it feels like. And that's why I just want to make everyone happy, without anyone worrying about me. That doesn't work like that, Sayori. I'm in shock. I can't even figure out how to respond. How is it possible that Sayori kept this from me the entire time I've known her? A brave face. Did she really want so badly for me to just not think about her? Why, Sayori? Eh? Why is it that you never told me about this? It almost feels like I've been betrayed as your close friend, because if I knew, I've done anything I could to support you. Even if there's only so much that I can do, I would have tried a little bit harder to make every day a little better for you. That's why I'm your friend. All you had to do was tell me. You don't understand at all, Flare. Why do you think I didn't tell you? Because if I told you, then you would have to waste effort caring about me instead of doing important things. I don't want to be cared about. That's a selfish thing to say, tsuJ. It's bittersweet when people try to care about me. It feels nice sometimes, but it also feels like a bat being swung against my head. That's why I wanted so badly for you to make friends with everyone else. Helping everyone be happy together is the best thing for me. But then, I discovered something else too. Seeing you make friends and get closer with everyone in the club, it feels like a spear going through my heart. So that's why I decided the world just wants to torture me. No! Every path leads to nothing but hurt. You're right, but I don't understand. I don't understand your feelings at all, tsuJ. But I don't need to understand. Whatever it takes for me to help you stop hurting, that's what I'll do. No, Flare, there's nothing. Nothing at all. The only thing that could have helped is if everything could be like it always was. But I was selfish. I finally showed you what a horrible person— You're not a horrible person! Tears streaked down tsuJ's face. I made you join the literature club because I was selfish. And I was punished by my heart hurting in a way that I couldn't understand. And now you came here and I made you hurt too. I'm just weak and selfish. Come on, tsuJ, stop it. That's all I am. And that's why I'm going to accept these punishments. Because I deserve every last one. Without thinking, I once again grabbed tsuJ's shoulders. This time, I'll pull her into a tight embrace. Come on now. Flare, tsuJ. I don't care if you feel selfish. I'm really happy that you convinced me to join the club. Seeing you every day makes it worthwhile enough. If I make friends with everyone else, then that's just a bonus. But please never underestimate how much I care about you. I wouldn't have it any other way. Flare! tsuJ isn't hugging back. Despite my arms being wrapped around her, tsuJ's arms remain at her sides. She starts sobbing next to my ear. No, don't do this to me. Please don't do this. Flare, tsuJ barely manages to speak between her sobs. I don't know if I'm doing the right thing, but all I want is for her to know that I care. If you have it in you to call yourself selfish, then you have to let me be selfish too. No matter what it takes, I'll figure out what needs to change. I'll make these feelings go away. It's not easy. And if there's anything that you need me to do, then you better tell me. I'll get mad if you don't. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Jenny tsuJ finally puts her arms around me in return. I don't know anything. It's already scary. I don't understand any of my feelings, Flare. Do we all understand 100% of our own feelings? No. That's why it's called a mixed bag. The only time I'm not feeling nothing is when I'm feeling pain. But your hugs are so warm, and that's really scary too. tsuJ lets me go, and she does so. I let her go as well. The festival is tomorrow. Yeah. It's going to be fun, right? Yeah. How would you like for me to spend it all with you? It's what I want. I promise. I think that would be nice then. Yeah. tsuJ wipes her eyes. If I could spend a whole day here, I would. Of all days, there has to be the one where I have other plans. Maybe I should cancel— No, don't! Please don't. If you did that, then I really wouldn't forgive you. But it's almost time for Natsuki to meet me at my house. At the very least, do you want to come along and help out? It would be fun. To my surprise, tsuJ shakes her head. I'm sorry. I don't know if that would be very good for me today. You understand, right? It's kind of hard for me to fully understand, but I'm trying my hardest. It's okay. Don't worry too much about it. I'll see you tomorrow, okay? Yeah, we will. No, I will see you tomorrow. You won't be seeing me tomorrow, for goodness sakes, tsuJ. I look forward to it. You won't be looking forward to it, my man. I say goodbye to tsuJ and exit her house. On the way home, I find myself still feeling uneasy, but it's hard for me to keep thinking about it when Natsuki is about to come over too. I think Sio is right. I shouldn't be worrying too much, and we're definitely going to have a great time tomorrow. I should just focus on what's ahead of me. I spent only a few minutes back at... Oh, sorry. Oh, god damn, I didn't mean to press it so many times! Why is my history so annoying in this game? I should just focus on what's ahead of me. I spent only a few minutes back at home anxiously awaiting Natsuki's arrival. Before I know it, she texts me to let me know that she's outside the front door. Cool. Without delay, open the front door and let her in. Hello! Sup? Hey. I don't know what I was expecting, but seeing Natsuki in something other than her school uniform totally threw me off. Of course! Seeing her in such cute clothes makes my uniform seem totally unfitting in comparison. Jeez, don't make it feel so awkward already. It's going to be a long afternoon, so don't be weird just because you're not used to seeing me outside of school. Anyway, I'm coming in. I see you brought a lot of stuff. Natsuki is carrying a large bag that is probably full of baking supplies. Well, I didn't want to come all this way to find out that your kitchen isn't equipped for the job. You brought everything I asked you to, right? Yeah, I did. Yesterday, Natsuki asked me to buy a bunch of ingredients if I didn't already have them at home. Good! Glad I could count on you to do your part. Well, of course. I'm surprised to hear Natsuki suddenly say that, rather than something snarky like she usually does. Could it be that she's a little different outside of school after all? Or outside the house after all? Anyway, let's go to the kitchen. What? You're not even gonna offer to take this heavy bag from me? I thought you can do it yourself. Where's your hospitality, Flare? Come on. Since when do I need to be a gentleman? I grab a bag Natsuki holds out to me. Gah, this is ridiculously heavy. I carried it all the way here. Are you impressed? I see now. Yeah, I am impressed, Natsuki. It seems like I've always underestimated you. You shouldn't underestimate anyone. It's because I'm so small, isn't it? You jerk. Natsuki hits her fist into my chest. Hey, your size has nothing to do with it. Do you really hate being small that much? Eh? It's not like I hate it. I mean, sometimes I like proving people wrong when they only think I'm worth my size. It's fun when I get to be small and also better than other people. But there's a but in there. Geez, never mind. What are you making me say? Don't think you can make me talk about weird things just because we're not at school. Are we getting started or what? There's a lot of stuff I've got to teach you. What? That's a little bit more like you. You're more fun when you just speak your mind like that. Hey! Now you were treating me like a kid. I was just trying to be a little nicer, you know. So you had to try to be a little nicer. The same advice that you gave to Yuri about the way that she offers you advice. And just because I don't have a mature and sexy figure like Yuri doesn't mean you should treat me like... you just caught yourself in your own trap, Natsuki. Natsuki? Forget it! I didn't say anything! I should apologize. Eh? I appreciate that you're trying to be nice, sir. I should have been a little more considerate too. But also, if that's what you're thinking, then you should know that there are tons of guys who are into body types like yours. How would you know that anyway? Because there's many different tastes out there, and there's lots of different males out there, like 3 billion or something. There's more women in the world, by the way. Just trust me on this one. Gross. Hey, was that to me? Who else? Man, let's just get started already. You get all sour when a girl calls you gross. I finally found your weakness, Flare. Natsuki smiles deviously. Please spare me. Well, if Natsuki decides to dish out more insults like that, there's no way I'm not fighting back. But she's satisfied enough for now. Finally starting to pull things out of her bag so we can get started. Before long, the whole kitchen is a mess. Spoons, dirty bowls, flour, spilled fluid, and plastic bags are strewn about every countertop. The mixer isn't big enough to make all the batter at once, so we had to do it several times. Meanwhile, Natsuki is babysitting all of my movements to make sure I don't mess up her precious baking. Flare, where'd you put the food coloring? The batter's going in the oven soon, so I need to fill the trays. I think it's in the bag next to the table. What are you using it for? To color the batter, of course. Colouring, yep. I'm making each tray a different colour. That way, even if the flavours aren't different, everyone can still pick their favourite. Ah, that's a cute idea. Are we doing anything like that with the icing? Do you want to? You're asking me? I don't really have a present, so... Come on! You're not putting any heart into this at all. Can't you at least try to have fun? I am having fun. I'm not trying to have fun. I am having fun. There's a distinction between the two. I'm having fun. I'm not really sure what Natsuki is trying to get out of me. Meanwhile, I see her separate the batter into smaller balls and put a few drops of food colouring into each. Ah, that does look pretty cool. See? It's not like baking is just about following instructions. It's about using your imagination. The presentation is where you get to be creative and have the most fun. It's a million times more worth it in the end if it's just looking at it makes everyone's eyes light up. Like the ones you made on my first day, eh? I recall Natsuki proudly presenting her cat-shaped cupcakes and Sayori and Monika's delighted expressions. I wonder if I can make Natsuki proud like that too. Yeah, maybe I'll use the food colouring then. Sounds like you're starting to understand. Just make sure you completely finish mixing the icing before you mess with the food colouring. Yeah, it's getting there. We were using the electric mixer for the batter, so I got stuck with a whisk and a huge bowl for the icing. It's good for your muscles when you do things manually, like beating something up. Eh? The icing's still all lumpy. Are you even trying? Well, yeah, it'll just take a little longer. Jeez, I'll be here all night if we do it like that. Here, look. There's a technique to all this and a bit of force. Natsuki grabs the whisk from me and uses her other hand to tilt the ball back. You really need to beat the crap out of it. After a few seconds, the consistency of the icing has already improved. See? As if to emphasize, Natsuki sticks her finger in the icing and pops it in her mouth. I reluctantly do the same. Hey! Natsuki suddenly grabs my wrist. I don't want your gross fingers in my icing. Well, I don't want your gross fingers in the icing. Your icing, eh? Are you forgetting who did all the work? I start to fight back, trying to inch my finger toward the ball. Don't make me beat the crap out of you next. I like to see you try. I push harder, just enough for my finger to reach the icing. I triumphantly scoop some with my finger just as Natsuki tugs with all her might. Ah! The force of Natsuki pulling me caused me to stumble, making her stumble in turn. Gross! You got it on my face! Whose fault is that? There's a big glob of ice on Natsuki's cheek. Nah! She tries to reach with her tongue but it's too far away. Jeez! You know what? Take this! Natsuki instead whips it off with her finger before shoving her finger towards my own face. You wish. I'm faster. I grab her wrist with my hand before it reaches my face. Natsuki tries to use her other hand to fight back, but I grab that one as well. And now we're like this. If we knew that was a wall, that is a wall by the way, but if we didn't know that it was a wall, that would look pretty suggestive. Ah, stop! Not until you apologise for calling me gross. Fine, fine. I'm sorry for calling you gross. You know I don't mean it. It's just fun to see you react to it. You do that to me all the time, you know. Saying dumb things just to get a reaction out of me. You really shouldn't tease girls like that. Is that so? In that case, I probably shouldn't do this either. I take Natsuki's finger and put it in my mouth, flicking off the icing. What? Did you seriously just... Natsuki's so surprised she can't even figure out how to get mad at me. Her face is entirely red. Flare, you really shouldn't do that kind of thing to girls, unless you really like them. You know that, right? Well, maybe it's because we really do like you, Natsuki. What kind of question is she asking me just like that? How did the mood turn to this so quickly? Natsuki gazes at me in silence. I notice her shallow breaths. Why am I starting to feel dizzy? Well, let's get back to it. Out of nowhere, the fire alarm starts going off. Natsuki rushes over to the oven. Is something burning? I thought you didn't put the cupcakes in yet. Ugh! No wonder. You left the dirty tray in there, dummy! How could you make a mistake like that? You should have checked before turning the oven on. Don't blame me for your mistakes. Jeez. Natsuki uses an oven mitt to grab a blackened tray out of the oven. She sets it on top of the stove. In another moment, the fire alarm stops. Anyway, I'm putting them in the oven now. Yeah. Potential of a moment before still lingers over our heads. Before the moment has already been lost, I watch as Natsuki slides the cupcake trays into the oven. Then I reluctantly pick up a whisk and continue with the icing like nothing ever happened. And here we go. Ah, that smells so good. What, the burnt tray? I'm kidding. The cupcakes are ready to be pulled out of the oven. As soon as Natsuki opens the oven door, a blast of sweet-smelling warm air fills the room. Look how cute they all look. She proudly shows off the different coloured cupcakes in each of the trays. They'll look even better once we add the icing. Not like you need to tell me that. I brought decorating stuff, so I hope you can get creative. Here, scoop the icing into these bags. Natsuki hands me some plastic bags. I have these nozzles that will make it look nice and fluffy. This one can even make flowers. We probably won't be using it this time though. What's this one for? I pick up one of the nozzles that has a much thinner tip than the others. That one's really thin, so you can use it to make stripes or other patterns. But you can also use it to write stuff on a cake, like happy birthday or whatever. I see. That gives me an idea then, huh? Eh? Well, it's a literature event, right? We could make it more literature themed by writing a different letter on each of the cupcakes. It'll be fun to see people choose their cupcake based on a word they like. Ugh. I was kind of expecting to say something really stupid, but that's actually a really cute idea, so... Maybe I'm getting it from you. What's that supposed to mean? The inspirations for great ideas, Natsuki, you dummy. I'm not cute. Come on. We're not at school, nobody's judging. You can't dress and act like this and not expect me to think you're cute. Well, Natsuki's voice trails off. Same with you. Eh? Did you say something? No, nothing! Let's just do the icing. How the mood changes from 0 to 100 in a split nanosecond. Natsuki picks up the pace and fastens a nozzle onto each of the bags. There's a lot to do, so we shouldn't be wasting time. Here, I'll show you how to do it. Without giving me a chance to think about before, Natsuki quickly moves on. She shows me how to apply the icing, and then we each get to work. Get to walk. When we're finally finished, Natsuki puts them all side by side to admire our work. Look how pretty they are together. Yeah, they are, aren't they? I wish I could have one now. Well, there's no reason you can't, right? I don't see any harm in that, but then there would be 2 less. Well, yeah, but... My dad's making dinner tonight, so I really need to save my appetite. Shiori's the exact opposite in that regard. If she was here, we'd probably be down 10 cupcakes already, and she would still eat dinner. Come on, that's just unhealthy. Besides, when my dad cooks, I need to eat as much of it as I can. Well, anyway, I was hoping we would have time for manga, but I need to be home for dinner. Already? That's a shame. It's your fault for working so slowly. You should have thought about that. It's not like you'll always have this chance. Man, as usual, Natsuki places the blame on me. You could bring the cupcakes tomorrow, right? If you and Shiori each carry some, but you could probably do it in one trip. Yeah, I can do that. And don't worry, I won't let her eat any. I wish she would listen to me the same way she listens to you. Yeah. I again think back to the conversation I had with Shiori earlier today. I felt so helpless. Shiori always does listen to me, but at that point it felt like she couldn't listen to me at all. Okay, I'm all packed up. Good work today. You too. I'll walk you out, I guess. As a gentleman thing to do. Just like that, Natsuki is already about to leave. It feels like the afternoon went by in a flash. More than that, did I even take the opportunity to get close to her like I wanted? Yes. Well, I guess I'll be off then. Thanks for all the help and everything. I'll see you tomorrow. Wait, Natsuki. Eh? What you said before about not always having this chance. It doesn't have to be that way at all. I had fun today. You showed me how fun baking can be, like you wanted. But aside from that, you could come over any time, okay? I think if possible, I'd like to spend more time like this. If you want to read manga or go out somewhere. Do you really mean that? Natsuki looks at me tensively, like she's trying to hide her expression. Yeah, I want to spend more time with you. Flare, I thought you only cared about getting this done. I'm sorry I had to leave so early today. I really didn't want to. I would really stay here longer if I could. I feel the same way as you, though, so... Natsuki suddenly gets close to me. Wait, Natsuki? Standing inches from me, Natsuki looks up at me. I feel her fingers gently clutch at the sides of my shirt as if holding on to me. Her rose-coloured cheeks and matching eyes fill my vision, along with her slightly parted lips. What is happening? My head starts to go dizzy as I feel her soft breast against me. I felt it for a while now. Natsuki suddenly jumps back. Sayori? Eh? Hello, you. Are you here to catch up, or are you here to do another announcement of sorts? Hi, Flare. Sayori? Just now? We wouldn't... It's okay, Flare. I just stopped by to say hi. Well, you should have come a little earlier. I'm already on my way out, so... Oh, really? That's too bad. Yeah, well, I'll still see you at festival tomorrow, so it's fine. Just don't eat any cupcakes before then. Anyway, later... Clearly flustered, Natsuki hurries off and Sayori waves goodbye. Sayori? I thought you didn't want to come over today. Well, I tried staying in my room, but my imagination was being really mean to me. So I had to come here and see it for myself. See what for yourself? Exactly. What are you talking about? You know. How much fun you were having with Natsuki, and how close you got to her. It makes me really happy, yes, but there's tears in your eyes. That you've made such good friends. That's all that matters to me. Tears start to fall down Sayori's face. That's all that matters to me. No, it's not, Sayori. Why am I feeling this way, Flare? I'm supposed to be happy for you. Why does it feel like my heart is split in half? It hurts so much because you have feelings for the protagonist. Everything hurts so much. This would be so much better if I could just... No, it would not. Sayori, don't say that. It's true, Flare. If I wasn't here, then you would have to waste your sympathy on me. You wouldn't have to pull up with me being selfish. You're not being selfish. You're just doing what your heart wants. Monica was right. I should... What do you mean, Monica? Monica was right about what? Sayori, what I said before is true. I'm not going to let this continue. Caring about you like this isn't the burden your mind is making it out to be. It's something that makes me happy. It's something that I wouldn't trade for anything else. So even if it takes an entire lifetime, I'm going to be by your side until you don't feel anymore. That's impossible. But Sayori looks away. I put a hand on her shoulder to reassure her. I'm scared, Flare. I'm really scared. What are you scared of, Sayori? I'm scared that I might like you more than you like me. Sayori? It's true, isn't it? I was weak and started to like you too much. I did this to myself. Flare, I like you so much, but I want to die. That's how I feel. And... That's enough, Sayori. I don't want you to hurt anymore. I slide my hand down Sayori's arm and squeeze her hand in my own. Do you remember how I said I always know what's best for you? Do you still believe me? Wordlessly, Sayori nods. Even if you don't understand all of your own feelings, I know what you need the most right now. And that's what I'm going to give to you. You'll always be my dearest friend. You'll always be my dearest friend. What you need most is for things to be like they've always been. Monica told me the truth. She told me how much happier you seemed after I joined the club. I know you're struggling with some really difficult things right now, but please trust me that I know what's best and what will make you happy in the end. I promise I'll help get things back to the way they were. I see. Sayori forced a smile through an incredibly pained expression. Is that what it feels like to get stabbed in the chest? I should write a poem about this. Sayori, it's okay. This is just my punishment, remember? For being so selfish. So please don't worry about these stupid feelings. I know you're right. I knew this whole time that there's no happiness down that path. That's why I came here. Just so I could get the answer I needed to hear. And the other thing. You're also right that I just want to go back to the way it was. I realise that now. You really do know me better than anyone. I'll trust you with anything. Anything at all. So... Sayori's smile finally breaks. All of a sudden she turns around and drops to her knees. Ah! Clutching her hands with both hands, she screams as loud as she can. I'm so shocked that I didn't know how to react. Sayori looks over her shoulder and flashes me one more weak smile before turning around and running off. Sayori! I'm left helplessly standing in front of my house. Goodness sakes, why am I feeling so horrible about this? There's nothing more that I could have done. The most I can do is support Sayori through her feelings and help her on the path that's right. But I'm having as much trouble understanding Sayori's feeling as she is. Even though I can comfort her, I keep wondering if I should be doing something more, or something different. I know these thoughts will continue to plague me until things are back to the way they were. I'm going to give it everything I've got. Sayori will always be my dearest friend, and I'll do whatever it takes to put a smile on her face every day. Damn. It's the day of the festival. Of all days, I expected this to be the one where I'd be walking to school with Sayori. But Sayori isn't answering her phone. I considered going to her house to wake her up, but decided that's a little too much. Meanwhile, the preparations for the event should be nearly complete. Is her data still within the game? Files, characters. Yep, Sayori is still there. She is still there. I managed to carry all the cupcakes myself by carefully stacking 2 trays. Natsuki is already texting up a storm, but I can't respond thanks to my hands being full. Funnily enough, I probably feel the same way as Natsuki about the event. I'm more excited for it to be over so I can spend time with Sayori and Natsuki at the festival. But knowing Monika, I'm sure the event will be great too. Flare! You're the first one here. Thanks for being early. That's funny. I thought at least Yuri would be here by now. Monika has placed little booklets on each of the desks in the classroom. They must be the ones she prepared that have all the poems we're performing. In the end, I found a random poem online that I thought Monika would like, and submitted it. So that's the one I'll be performing. I'm surprised you didn't bring Sayori with you. You would know that already, wouldn't you, Monika? Yeah, she overslept again. That dummy. You'd think that on days this important she tried a little harder. I say that, but I suddenly remember what Sayori told me yesterday, and I suddenly feel awful, knowing it's not nearly that simple for her. I only said it because it's the way I'm used to thinking, but maybe I should have gone to wake her up after all. You should take a little responsibility for her, Flare. I mean, especially after your exchange with her yesterday. How'd you know about that? You kind of left the... Okay, so right-click is to hide. But for goodness sakes, Monika! We did not leave her hanging! Exchange? Monika, you know about that? Of course I do. I'm the club president after all. But... I stammer, embarrassed. Did Sayori really tell her about it that quickly? About how I basically turned down her confession? That makes me really seem like a bad guy here. But I'm the one who knows what's best for her, right? Jeez. You don't know the full story at all, so... Don't worry, I'll probably know a lot more than you think. Shut up, Monika. Monika has been as friendly as usual, but for some reason I feel a chill down my spine after hearing that. Hey, do you want to check out the pamphlets? They came out really nice. Yeah, sure. I grabbed one of the pamphlets laid on the desks. Oh yeah, they really did. Something like this would definitely help people take the club more seriously. Yeah, I thought so too. I flipped through the pages. Each member's poem is neatly printed on its own, giving it an almost professional look. I recognize Natsuki's and Yuri's poems from the ones they performed during our practice. What's this? I flipped to Sayori's poem. It's different from the ones she practiced. It's one I haven't read before. About getting out of one's head. I do what I know is best for you. I listen to everything she said to me. I show you how much I love you. I finished writing this poem, but the poem is never actually finished. It just stops moving. Get out of my head. What is this? Breathing a poem, I get a pit in my stomach. Flare? What's wrong? Nothing. This poem feels completely different from everything else Sayori's written. But more than that, I changed my mind. I'm going to get Sayori, so... well, alright. Try not to take too long, okay? I quickly leave the classroom. Don't strain yourself. Shut up, Monica. Monica calls that out after me. I quicken my pace. Jog to the room. What was I thinking? I should have tried a little harder for Sayori. It's not a big deal to at least wait for her or help her wake up. Even the simple gesture of walking her to school makes her really happy. Besides, I told her yesterday that things will be the same as they always have been. That's all she needs, and what I want to give her. Right, I reach Sayori's house and knock on the door. I didn't expect an answer since she's not picking up her phone either. Like yesterday, I opened the door and let myself in. Okay, folks. I'm giving you a good 10 seconds before we continue this game because this is where things are going to get extremely dark. Not like Sayori's poem already isn't already dark, but for goodness sakes, this is like a really, really dark subject. And before playing this game or watching these videos, you should look up the different things that transpires within this game and know that if you're not for this kind of subject, then you should turn away as soon as possible. Okay, we're going to continue. Sayori, she really is a heavy sleeper. I swallow. I can't believe I ended up doing this after all. Waking her up in her own home. Isn't that more like something a boyfriend would do? In any case, it just feels right. Outside Sayori's room, I knock on her door. Sayori, wake up, dummy. There's no response. I really didn't want to have to enter her room like this. Isn't it kind of a breach of privacy? But she really leaves me no choice. I gently open the door. Serenity Forge? That was not there before. And, yeah, the scripters file. Oh, achievements are working now. What do you mean by no? Exit. Okay. Files. Characters. Yep, Sayori's file is no longer there, for goodness sakes. Meh. Choose not to quit DDLC. Like, okay, so achievements have started working, I presume, but... yeah, this is no good happy thoughts. Hold on. What is that right there? And the rope to, each valve is replaced with an X. A and O is replaced with an X. Reset, trace back. VM runtime exception occurred. Stuff like that. Actually, you know what? This would probably be a lot easier if I just deleted her. She's the one who's making this so difficult. Ah, well, here goes nothing. This is Monica's work. This is what she's done. Like, oh jeez, I didn't break anything, did I? Hold on a sec, I'll probably fit this. Yeah. She tried to make an exception by keeping Sayori in the game, but now she's like, it would be a lot less work if I just deleted her and try to continue this reign from the very beginning. Oh no, what the hell? Loading back in is warped. Corrupt. I didn't even get to see... What the heck? Didn't even get to see all of that dialogue of the MC suffering. I see an annoying girl running towards me from a distance, waving her arms. Maybe I exit out of it too early. Like she's totally oblivious to any attention she might draw herself. That girl was my neighbour and good friend since we were children. You know, the kind of friend you never see. Yeah, of course, we know that. We know that. And there, catch up to me. Oh, hi. This is not a glitch in Matrix. This is intentional in the game. Start a new game? No! This is not a new one. This is an ordinary one. It's an ordinary school day like any other. Mornings are usually the worst, being surrounded by couples and friend groups walking to school together. Meanwhile, I've already walked to school alone. I've always walked to school alone, sorry. I always tell myself it's about time I meet some girls or something like that. But I've no motivation to join any clubs. I'm perfectly content just getting by on the average while spending my free time on games and anime. There's always the anime club, but it's not like there would be any girls in it anyway. What do you mean? There's so many girls out there who are fans of anime. Loads! You're just underestimating anime and the power that it brings. You think cute anime would just adhere to boys? Nah! The school day is as ordinary as ever, and it's over before I know it. After I pack up my things, I stare blankly at the wall, looking for an ounce of motivation. Clubs. Yes, clubs. Excuse me? You don't just remove my save files like that, game. That's a bit silly, don't you think? So my first ever achievement in this game is called no. There really aren't any that interest me. Besides, most of them will probably be way too demanding for me to want to deal with. There's probably also like achievement bugs if you bought the Serenity Forge version of the Steam version of the game, so I think that needed fixing as well. I guess I have no choice but to start with the Anime Club. Flare? Well, hi Monica. Didn't see you glitch into the Matrix like that. Monica? Oh my goodness, I totally didn't expect you to see you here, sorry. It's been a while, right? Yeah, it has. Monica smiles sweetly, of course. We do know each other. Well, we rarely talked, but we were in the same class last year. Monica is probably the most popular girl in class. Smart, beautiful, athletic, basically completely out of my league, but yet she's chosen to visit you instead. So having her smile at me so genuine feels a little out of place. What'd you come in here for anyway? Oh, I've just been looking for some supplies to use for my club. Do you know where there's any construction paper in here? Or markers? I guess you could check the closet. You're in the debate club, right? About that, I actually quit the debate club. Really? You quit? Yeah. To be honest, I can't stand all the politics around the major clubs. It feels like nothing but arguing about the budget and publicity and how to prepare for events, etc. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. Can you tell me where Sayuri is within your database? In that case, what club did you decide to join? Actually, I'm starting a new one. A literature club. Literature? That sounds kind of dull. No, it's not dull. How many members do you have so far? It's kind of embarrassing, but there are only 3 of us so far. It's really hard to find new members or for something that sounds so boring. Well, I can see that. But it's really not boring at all, you know? Literature can be anything. Reading, writing, poetry. I mean, one of my members even keeps a manga collection in the club room. Wait, really? Yeah, it's funny, right? She always insists that manga is literature too. Manga is literature. I mean, she's not wrong, I guess. And besides, a member is a member, right? Did Monica say she? Hey, Flare. By any chance, are you still looking for a club to join? I mean, I guess so, but in that case, is there any chance you could do me a big favor? I won't ask you to join, but if you could at the very least visit my club, it'll make me really happy. Please? Well, I guess I have no reason to refuse. Besides, how could I ever refuse someone like Monica? Well, you can. Sure, I guess I can check it out. Awesome. You're really sweet, Flare, you know that? It's nothing really. Shall we go then? I'll look for the materials another time. You're more important. Yeah, right. And thus today marks the day I sold my soul to Monica in an irresistible smile. It used to be cupcakes, but now it's an irresistible smile. I dejectedly follow Monica across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit. Monica, full of energy, swings open the classroom door. Hello, I'm back, and I brought a guest with me. Hello, Yuri. A guest? Seriously, you brought a boy? Way to kill the atmosphere sharp, Natsuki. Don't be mean, Natsuki. But anyway, welcome to the club, Flare. All words escape me in the situation. This club is full of incredibly cute girls. So let me guess. You're Monica's boyfriend, right? What? No, I'm not. Natsuki. The girl with a sour attitude whose name is apparently Natsuki is one I don't recognize. Her small figure makes her look like a first-year student. Anyway, this is Natsuki, energetic as usual. And this is Yuri, the vice president. It's nice to meet you. What's the rest? Somebody else who's meant to be vice president? Somebody whose name beginning with S and ends with I. Yuri appears comparably more mature and timid. Seems to have a hard time keeping up with someone like Natsuki. Yeah, it's nice to meet both of you. So I ran into Flare in a classroom and he decided to come check out the club. Isn't that great? Wait, Monica, didn't I tell you to let me know in advance before you brought anyone new? I was going to, well, you know, make cupcakes. Sorry. I didn't forget that, but I just happened to run into him. In that case, I should at least make some tea, right? Yeah, that would be great. Why don't you come sit down, Flare? The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. Yuri walks to the corner of the room and opens the closet. Meanwhile, Monica and Natsuki sit across from each other. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Monica. So I know you didn't really plan on coming here, but we'll make sure you feel right at home, okay? As president of the Literature Club, it's my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. I'm surprised there aren't more people in the club yet. It must be hard to start a new club. You could put it that way. Not many people are very interested in putting out all their effort to start something brand new, especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention initially, like literature. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile, but it makes school events like the festival that much more important. I'm confident that we can all really grow this club before we graduate. Right, Natsuki? Well, I guess. Natsuki reluctantly agrees. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Monica must have worked really hard just to find these two. Yuri returns to the table carrying a tea set. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot in the middle. You keep a whole tea set in the classroom? Don't worry, the teacher gives us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? I guess. Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress. Shut up! That's not. Insulted, Yuri looks away. I meant that, you know. I believe in you. Well, tea and reading might not be my pastime, but I at least enjoy tea. I'm glad. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. So, Flare, what kind of things do you like to read? Well, considering how little I've read over these past few years, I don't really have a good way of answering that. Manga? I mutter quietly to myself, half joking, and then Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. Someone say manga? It looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps it quiet. Not much of a reader, I guess. Well, that can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyway, what about you, Yuri? Well, let's see. Yuri traced the rim of her teacup with her finger. My favourites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me. And telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive. Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seems so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in, but it's obvious by the way her eyes light up that she finds her comfort in the world of books, not people. But you know, I like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Like this one. Isn't it amazing how a writer can so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination, completely throw you for a loop? Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately. I read a horror book once. I desperately grasped something that I could relate to it at a minimal level. At this rate, Yuri might as well be having a conversation with a rock. A sexy looking rock. I'd expect that from you, Yuri. Wait, you said last time that you didn't expect that. It's almost like you know these events. It suits your personality. Oh, is that so? Really? If a story makes me think, or takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down. Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, even if only for a brief moment. I hate horror. Oh, what's that? Well, Nasty darts over to me for a split second. Never mind. That's right. You usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki? What? What gives you the idea? You left a piece of paper behind last club meeting. It looked like you were working a poem called Don't Say It Out Loud, and give me that back. Fine. Natsuki, you write your own poems? Well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care? I think that's impressive. Why don't you share them sometime? No! Natsuki averts her eyes. You wouldn't like them. Ah, not a very confident writer yet. I understand how Natsuki feels. Showing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart. Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example and help Natsuki feel comfortable enough to share hers. I guess it's the same for Yuri. We'll sit in silence for a moment. Wait, doesn't Monica usually say that? Hey, I just got an idea. How about this? Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically at Monica. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. Then next time we meet, we'll share them with each other. Then that way, everyone is even. I thought it was a good idea. Well, I think you're right, Monica. We should probably start finding activities for all of us to participate in together. I did decide to take on the responsibility of Vice President after all. I need to do my best to nurture the club as well as its members. Besides, now that we have a new member, it seems like a good step for us to take. Do you agree as well, Flare? Hold on, there's still one problem. Yeah, what's that? Now that we reached the most important topic, I bluntly come forth with what's been on my mind the entire time. I never said I would join this club. Monica may have convinced me to stop by. I never made any decision. I still have other clubs to look at and... Oh, I lose my train of thought. All three girls stare back at me with dejected eyes. But I'm sorry, I thought... The girls exchange glances before Monica turns back to me. I guess I need to tell you the truth, Flare. What is it, Monica? The thing is... we don't have enough members yet to form an official club. We need 4. And I've been trying really hard to find new members. And if we don't find one before a festival, I'm defenseless against these girls. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? I feel terrible for letting everyone down in this situation. Besides, the club itself seems pretty relaxed. So if writing poems surprises me to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls... Right, okay, I've decided then. I'll join the literature club. One by one, the girl's eyes light up, and Monica's obviously is a sad smile. Oh my goodness, really? Do you really mean that, Flare? Yeah, it could be fun, right? You really did scare me for a moment. I mean, if you really just left after all this, I'll be super pissed. For Flare, I'm so happy. We can become an official club now. Thank you so much for this. You're really amazing. I'll do everything I can to give you a great time, okay? Thanks, I guess. Okay, everyone. I think with that, we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone remember tonight's assignment. Write a poem to bring to the next meeting so we can all share. Monica looks over at me once more. Flare, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. Yeah. Can I really impress the class star Monica with my medicure writing skills? I feel the anxiety welling up inside me. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri cleans up the tea set. I guess I'll be on my way then. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow then. I can't wait. You can't wait at all. You could just edit it so that it is tomorrow, you know. Without I depart the club room and make my way home. The whole way my mind wanders back and forth between the 3 girls. Natsuki, Yuri, and of course Monica. Will I really be happy spending every day after school in the literature club? Perhaps I'll have a chance to get close to one of these girls. Alright, I'll just need to make the most of my circumstances and I'm sure good fortune will find me. And I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. You have unlocked a special poem. Would you like to read it? Absolutely. Okay. Things I like about Papa. I like when Papa comes home early, cooks me dinner, gives me an allowance, spends time with me, asks me about my friends, asks me about anything, gives me lunch money, comes home before sundown, cooks, gives me privacy, doesn't tell me how to dress, doesn't comment on my friends, doesn't comment on my hobbies, come home without waking me up, keeps food in the house, uses inside voice, leaves my stuff alone, accidentally drops coins in the couch, is too tired to notice me, is too tired for anything. I like when Papa is too tired for anything. This is a secret poem about Natsuki, because she is the only one who mentioned about a father figure within this game at all. And obviously going through this, we know that this is about Natsuki, because she mentioned about him when we was cooking. She mentioned about him about, like, briefly about her manga collection. Like, how Natsuki would not have a manga collection at home because of her dad. It's really disturbing. Also, it's a contrary. You say that you like when Papa does this, when he does that. It's the other way round. Aside the last line, where he's too tired for anything. The broken up one, that is. Let's see. There's more to this than meets the eye. There's another layer to this. So, socks. Fickle, no. Let's see. Sparkle, boop. Cage, no, that's not the one. Games, tears, no. I want another carrot to briefly pop out of the blue. Cry, no. Sugar, skirt. Let's see. Sadness, horror. No, not horror. Sweet. Where is Sayuri? She should be on the left side, somewhere down below. Embrace. Nope, not that one. This might take a few attempts. Oh my goodness sakes! After image. That scared the crap out of me. Picking after image, huh? What did that do? One of the level special poems, DDLC selects 3 random special poems to appear when it is started for the first time. But what exactly does it entail? Because it's a random thing, it's not like a fixed thing. But also that little secret thing that appeared just now doesn't appear in anything like this. It's an event of itself, but it's not contained to anything that is like this. Let's see. Let's see. Attempt to load a save file after Sayuri's death. That doesn't work. No, Sayuri! You're not dead. You're not dead. You're still there somewhere within the game, but she's obviously just kept you away. Hello, Monica. Glad to see you didn't run away from us. Nah, don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but I at least kept my word. We didn't get to see Sayuri there because she appears from below the monitor. But I'm happy to the fact that we discovered a little bit of a secret even though it doesn't appear. Well, I'm back at the Literature Club. I was the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Oh, what happened to your face? Thanks for keeping your promise, Flare. Hope this isn't too overwhelming for a commitment of you. Make you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. Oh, hi. Oh, come on, like you deserve any slack. You already had to be dragged here by Monica. I don't know if you plan to just come here and hang out or what, but if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it. Oh, you're appearing over the frame. That's a bit of an error in itself. Big mouth someone who keeps a manga in here. Manga? Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga. Manga's literature! Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back into her seat. I'm sorry, Flare. We'll make sure to put your comfort first, okay? Natsuki shoots Yuri shoots Natsuki with a disappointed glare. Anyway, now we're in the club and all. Yeah, the music is changing. Perhaps you might have an interest in picking up a book to read? Well, I can't really say no either way. Like you said, I'm in this club now, so it only feels right for me to do something like that if you ask. Wait, I didn't mean it like that. If you don't really want to, then forget I said anything, I guess. No, that's not it. That's not it, Yuri. I'm just trying to be a part of this club. So even if I don't read often, I'll be happy to pick up a book if you wanted me to. Are you sure? I just felt like, well, as vice president and all, that I should help you get started on something you might like. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. I'm not too sure if that horror image that we saw when selecting after image is something that was included in the original game. It might have been, actually. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention even if you don't usually read. and we could, you know, discuss it if you wanted. This is... How's the girl accidentally being so cute? She even picks out a book she think I'll like, despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you. I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. Phew! Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Thank you. Now that everybody's settled in, I expect the monitor to kick off some scheduled activities for the club, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. Hello! I hate Natsuki. I hear Natsuki utter an exasperated sigh from within the closet. She seems to be annoyed by something. I approach her in case she needs a hand. Hello. You looking for something in here? She never puts my stuff back in the right spot. Let's see, let's look at the history actually. Wait a minute, there's something that should be said beforehand. What's the point in keeping your collection organized if someone else is just gonna mess it up? Natsuki slides a bunch of stacked books and boxes across the shelf. Manga. You eat manga, right? Sometimes. Manga is one of the things where you can't admit you're really into it until you figure out where the other person stands. How'd you know anyway? I heard you bring it up at some point. Besides, it's kind of written on your face. What's that supposed to mean? Manga. I see. There's a lone volume of manga amid a stack of various books on the side of one of the shelves. Curious, I pull it out of a stack. There it is! Natsuki snatched it out of my hand. She then turns to a box of manga and slips a volume right in the middle of the rest. Much better. Seeing a box set with one book missing is probably the most irritating sight in the world. I know that feeling. I get a closer look at the box she's admiring. Pathway Girls. It's a series I've never heard of in my life. That probably means it's either way out of my demographic or it's simply terrible. If you're gonna judge, you could go do it through the glass on that door. She points to the classroom door. Hey, I wasn't judging or anything. I didn't even say anything. It was the tone of your voice. But I'll tell you one thing, Flare. Consider this a Don't judge a book. In fact, Natsuki pulls up the first volume of Pathway Girls from a box. I'm going to show you exactly why. The history tells you a different version. The writing in the bigger, blobbier font does not show up in the history. I stare at the cover. It features 4 girls in colorful tear-striking animated feminine poses. It's exceedingly mo. Don't just stand there. Natsuki grabs my arm and pulls me out of the closet. She then takes a seat against the wall beneath the windowsills. She pats on the ground next to her, signaling me to sit there. Wouldn't chairs be more comfortable? I take my sheet. Chairs wouldn't work. We can't read at the same time like that. Yeah, why's that? I guess it's easier to be close to... Don't just say that. You'll make me feel weird about it. Now she crosses her arms and scooches an inch away from me. Sorry. I didn't exactly expect to be sitting this close to her either. Not that I can say it's a particularly bad thing. I open the book. It's only a few seconds before Natsuki, once again inches closer, reclaiming the additional space while she hopes I wouldn't notice. I can feel her peering over my shoulder, much more eager to begin reading than I am. Wow, how long has it been since I read the beginning? You don't go back and flip through the older volumes every now and then? Not really. Maybe sometimes after I've already finished the series. Hey, are you paying attention? I am, but nothing's really happened yet, so I can talk at the same time. It looks like it's about a bunch of friends in high school. Typical slice of life affair. I kind of grew out of these, since it's rare for a writing to be entertaining enough to make up for the lack of plot. Here we are again. Are you sure this isn't bothering you? It's not, even though you're just watching me read. Well, I'm fine with that. If you say so. I guess it's fun sharing something you like with someone else. I always get excited when I convince any of my friends to pick up a series I enjoy. You know what I mean? You don't? It's about the friend part. That's not... Well, I wouldn't really know. What do you mean? Don't you share your manga with your friends? Could you not rub it in? Jeez. Sorry. Like I'd ever get my friends to read this. They used to think manga is for kids. I can't even bring it up without them being all like, you still haven't grown out of that yet? Makes me want to punch them in the face. Oh, I know those kind of people. Honestly, it takes a lot of effort to find friends who don't judge, much less friends who are also into it. I'm already kind of a loser, so I guess I gravitate towards the other losers over time. But it's probably harder for someone like you, right? Yeah, that's pretty accurate. Wait, which part? I mean, I thought I can't even keep it in my own room. My dad would beat the blanket out of me if he found this. Why would you say that? At least it's safe here in the club room. Except Monica's kind of a jerk about it. I just can't win, can I? Well, it's paid off in the end, didn't it? I mean, here I am reading it. Well, it's not like the shelves that solves any of my problems. Maybe, but at least you're enjoying yourself, right? So? Jeez, that's enough. Are you going to keep reading or what? Yeah. I flip the page. And... time passes. Natsuki is strangely quiet now. I glance over at her. Somebody's a sleepyhead over here. Hey, Natsuki? Yeah? What's going on now? Suddenly, Natsuki collapses straight into me. Hey! Hi. Oh, jeez. Natsuki, are you okay? Here. Monica reaches into her bag and pulls at some kind of protein bar. She throws it in Natsuki's direction. Natsuki's eyes suddenly lighten up again. She snatches a bar from the floor and immediately tears off the wrapper. I told you not to give... She doesn't even finish her sentence before stuffing it into her mouth. Don't worry, Flare. She's fine. It just happens every now and then. That's why I always keep a snack in my bag for her. Anyway, why don't we all share our poems now? Thanks, genius. Okay, folks, we're going to leave things off here. Things have become really corrupted, and there's definitely a possibility that tsuJ would appear in the poems if he just... It's either you select the right word or it just happens by chance association. Like, getting a word in which she would otherwise accept it. Maybe that's the more likely outcome. So is there anything within here that's different? I don't think so, otherwise it would be like that. There's still only these two that have been unlocked. So, different combinations are required. But it could also be the fact that you require to have the same combination of, what character you want to appease, but just select which character to read them in a different order. But yeah. Damn it, can you hear me? There's a little devil inside all of us. Beneath their manufactured perception, their artificial reality, is a wreathing, twisted mess of dread, loathing, judgment, elitism, self-doubt, all thrashing to escape the feeble hold of their host, seeping through every little crevice they can find into their willpower, striving them of all motivation desire into their stomach, forcing them to drown their guilt in comfort food, or into a newly opened gash in their skin, hidden only by the sleeves of a cute new shirt. Such a deplorable, tangled mess is already present in every single one of them. That's why I choose not to blame myself for their actions. All I did was untie the knot. Now, I think there could be Sayori, but there's also a bit of Yuri in here when it comes to the open sleeve part of this .txt file. Like, this is just... wow. Like, that also is a wow right there. Trace back. Nope. Attributions. Nope. Google, etc, etc. What's also really weird is that Sayori's winning words are still in here, even though she's technically not a character in the game anymore. So that is really bizarre in a way. What? Okay, Monica's file is the biggest, while Yuri's was the small. I swear Yuri's was the second largest. That's really, really odd. Okay, folks, we're going to end things off here. Thank you so much for watching, and we shall see each other in the next time of Doki Doki Literature Club Plus. Have a lovely day and take care of yourselves.